Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pop Council presented by Hollywood Critics Association. I'm Wendy Lee. I am one of your hosts for today. Joining me, as always, every Monday is my co-host. Yes, I did it right. Jami Philbrick. Hey, Jami, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Wendy. How are you?
Doing great. Woke up to a brand spanking new trailer for Thor Love and Thunder, the teaser trailer. So we'll definitely be talking about that on today's show. We'll be talking about Stranger Things 4, the Spirit Halloween Store movie, Who Knew, and so much more. But Jami, you know, it is never a proper Pop Council without a third honorary member. So I am so happy to welcome back Mr. Alexander Robinson.
Yay!
This return actually came sooner than I thought, but I'm glad to be here.
I'm so glad you were available because I just really enjoy your takes on things. I think you're super eloquent. So it's always nice to have you as a part of the council. What have you been up to lately? Tell us.
Well, I'm moving. I moved into a new place. New white wall. It's still a work in progress. I would have had something here up against the wall, but I'm moved in, settled in, still hanging out here, making money, and just being there as a guest at times.
Nice. I actually want to go. I want to go back. I haven't been on the Secret Life of Pets ride.
Yeah.
Haven't tried it yet, but I hear it's cute.
It is. It's really nice. Ever since ET closed, it's good that they got a new dark ride in that vein.
Yes.
And spring break just ended, so now would be the best time to go before the summer crowd's kicking.
How was it there? Was it super crowded?
At days it was. Yesterday, honestly, was not that busy. But Saturday was madness because it's it's a Saturday. But I think because it was Easter, people, it's like we just want to be home with our families. And usually, from my 6 years of working there, the holidays are never as crowded as you would imagine because there's just a handful of people that just don't want to go.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, you know what? I'm going to take notes and then maybe that's when I'll visit because sometimes I feel like I tend to visit when it's because a new thing's out. So it's like I want to go and see it. And then I'm in line for, 65, 75 minutes. Like, what's happening?
Well, I mean, it's also good if you know people there, see if they can get you passes.
This is true. Not Gate A, but like the whatever thing it's called now.
Universal Express.
Yes. So I'm gonna have to hit up some of my former coworkers who are still there. But yeah, so excited to have you on the show. We're gonna be diving into our first topic, which is Thor: Love and Thunder. I know a lot of us have been speculating exactly when this trailer was going to come out. People were speculating what date. They thought maybe they tag on the trailer at the end of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, kind of what they did with the Spider-Man film. And I am glad to see that they didn't do that. But did you guys, were you aware that this was coming out, or was this as much of a surprise to you as it is to me?
No idea. It was literally the first thing I woke up to.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I mean, I too thought that they would probably. I feel like because this is really just a teaser trailer. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's a teaser. They want to get it out because there probably is a connection, not sort of a Doctor Strange trailer at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, but maybe an actual connection to the Thor movie. Yeah. And if that's the case, then they probably wanted to get the basic plot ideas, who's in it. Cause this is very sizzle reel. You know what I mean? Like it basically kind of concentrates on the Guardians Thor relationship, which I'm guessing is probably the first 20 minutes of the movie. I'm not guessing that they're in a lot of the actual plot of the film.
Yeah.
And then you get kind of the greatest hits. We got a little shot of Zeus, right? Russell Crowe's Zeus. I don't think we saw any of Christian Bale. Or was there a shot of Christian Bale?
I didn't spot it on the first couple of watches.
They're saving that clearly. He's the big bad. They're going to save the reveal of what he looks like. I didn't see any sort of teases towards the Asgardian actors that we know. Melissa McCarthy and Matt Damon and those guys are returning, so they're going to probably keep that
the
a
theater
secret.
players. Yeah, I wanted to see them, honestly.
Which, by the way, I've always had I really, because the concept is that they're Asgardian actors, right? That were doing this play. I always liked the idea that Loki actually kidnapped the Midgard actor Matt Damon and forced him to be, and I feel like that's a really great meta joke that they could have gone with that they haven't as of yet. Hopefully, maybe they will. But so they're keeping all of that sort of hidden. They're keeping, we didn't see any. I don't think we saw Sif at all. We got a little shot of Tessa and then a little shot of Natalie at the end. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's the big reveal. I wonder if maybe Natalie appears as Thor at the end of Doctor Strange.
That would be interesting.
Because then they would want to get this out before that.
So it's not like one of the leaks.
Glimpse out. Yeah.
Yeah. Question to the both of you. Do we feel that this is, because we're dealing with the multiverse here, one, do we think that this would be Lady Thor coming from another universe?
It's possible.
It is possible.
I would say it's possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, except the only thing that kind of makes me doubt it is that if you look at the shot of her holding Mjolnir, it's crumbled. So
yes,
it's like that's clearly the same Mjolnir in our timeline that we know of, and it got repaired. So it could be the Jane Foster could be from another multiverse, but the Mjolnir could very well be ours.
Yeah, I actually agree with that 100% because I noticed that it was all, kind of reforged. And I like that it does hint to perhaps that it is the one that Hela destroyed. And she, through maybe multiverse of madness, travels to our universe, having heard about it. I don't know what happened to the Mjolnir in her universe, but she's like, I got to get this one, and comes back and reforges. I don't know if maybe the Time Stone has anything. Well, that actually doesn't exist in our universe anymore.
It's also possible that the Mjolnir was destroyed in her multiverse Earth as well and repaired in that Earth. So
it's possible.
Yeah, there's lots of options.
Yeah. I do like the way she looks. She's hella, but look at her arms. She's hella buff. In this one, Natalie, she's little, she's petite. She's all of 5'3", and she's always been toned, but she's never, I don't, and she's like, I remember in Annihilation, like she looked real, but this is like, this is extra beefy for Natalie.
That Marvel workout plan really does wonders.
I wonder if she also pushed a Jeep up the hill, a la Brie Larson. Yeah. But overall, I thought the trailer was a lot of fun, gave a lot of, similar, the kind of cohesive vibe to what we saw in Thor Ragnarok. So I really enjoy seeing that. I enjoy seeing a little bit of crossover between Thor and the Asgardians. What were you guys' thoughts on Thor in the beginning of that teaser, kind of doing the soul searching? I want to live a life of peace and no fighting. What did you think of that? Because that threw me for a second.
I think I liked it because this guy's been through so much. He's lost so much in his life that I think the best thing for him to do is just try to find peace. He handed over the leadership of Asgard to Valkyrie, so she's the one in charge now while he goes to just find inner peace.
Yeah. Was it kind of funny? They only showed, like Jami mentioned earlier, literally just one quick shot of the Valkyrie, and it looked like it was at some sort of council. She is the new leader, so she's just sitting there. I don't think she wanted to be on the business side of things. As much as like being a leader is great, and I think she is the right person to take on that mantle. I feel like she looked a little bored.
She did.
And I'm like, I feel you. I get it.
But also in when they show the exterior shot of New Asgard, it looks like it turned into a massive tourist trap, just because in the background there's all these cruise ships.
The new destination.
Yeah, that reminded me a little bit of the Accords, and kind of that whole like MCU plot line. I don't know if that's kind of coming back at all. And then as far as like Thor going on this existential journey, that seems very Taika Waititi to me.
Yes.
That seems like a very Taika idea to explore, you know, in the
Mhm.
fourth installment of the Thor movies. So it doesn't surprise me at all to see that.
No, it doesn't. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a bit out there. It's kind of, Taika's vibe, as we were talking about. I really enjoyed this teaser trailer. Usually, it leaves me wanting more, and not saying that it doesn't, but I'm kind of satisfied with this teaser. And sometimes it's fun to go into a movie not knowing too much. So if they and I know this wouldn't be it, because we're going to get another trailer and maybe one more after that, plus TV spots and whatnot. But if this happened to be the only thing we got before the movie came out, I am okay with it. I want to be surprised to see what they throw at us in this film.
I mean, Marvel's generally good at not showing too much in their trailers. And so I feel like even if they show one or two more trailers, then there's still going to be a lot of surprises in there. I mean, we saw with Doctor Strange, they weren't shy about showing off Charles Xavier. So we know it's like, if they're willing to show that, then there's got to be a lot more in store in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow.
First week of May 6th. Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's literally coming up very, very soon. I can't wait. That's that is one movie that's like, I need to see it ASAP. And then, and if I can't, stay off the internet, because I don't want anything spoiled for me by going on the internet.
If you don't read the Variety review, you'll be fine.
Wow.
That's the only thing that's going to spoil it.
But you know what they did? They did spoil, in the past. So it's like
Spider-Man and Eternals.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that one until
stay away from Variety
after I've seen the film. So we're excited about the new Thor: Love and Thunder teaser. We've got a fun poster here that Jami pulled for us. Love the retro. It's very rock and roll vibe. The fonts, the coloring, everything. I am really into it. The song choice for this teaser, for the Guns N' Roses song, 100% yes. And of course, Thor walking through. This is not even one of the main shots, but I just thought it looked really cool with the flame, so I picked it. So you guys continue to let us know what you thought of the teaser in the comment section if you're watching us on the VOD or if you're in the chat. Now, in fact, Arturo says the new teaser is so rock and roll. # super hyped. Yeah,
it's a great Guns N' Roses music video.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic here. You guys, we know that WB and Discovery have closed their merger. And as usual, when a company goes through a significant change like this, shift in leadership, there's sort of a Tetris way of figuring out what is next. And now we're hearing about this potential overhaul of DC Entertainment. They're looking to have someone in the position of the likes, this is according to the articles and the reports, the likes of a Kevin Feige, but they don't want that person to be on the creative side of things. They want it to be more business. I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on this. What do you think of the overhaul of the DC Entertainment? And do you think it's needed?
No, it's not. Not right now. It was in 2017, but they had huge hits with Aquaman and Joker. Wonder Woman was sort of a soft, huge hit in the beginning, and then even Shazam was a soft hit, and Birds of Prey got a little hit by the pandemic. Kind of happened at the same time, but it got really good critical. So. No, I think now, do they need a Kevin Feige? Yeah, but they needed a Kevin Feige 10 years ago. At this point, they're kind of, after Aquaman and Joker, like, I feel like they're in a good place. They're headed in the right direction. They're making money with their films. They're an alternative to Marvel. Kind of chasing the Marvel thing doesn't, they tried it and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So you're going to try it again. I mean, I get where Discovery comes in and they, have this new asset and they see it as it should be what Marvel's doing. We should be able to do what Marvel's doing. And you're going to try to compete with Marvel at this point. They're 25 movies in, you're not going to set up a shared universe that's going to work that way. You've had this other thing that, people are responding to. I don't understand. I mean, I get them wanting to get the most they can out of this, asset.
Yeah.
But I mean, hearing we need a Kevin Feige, it tells me like, yeah, that you needed that for a long time. That's great. But it's not going to be a creative. It's going to be a business person.
Yeah.
That's what got you into trouble in the first place. So just stop. Like, I just think that they're, fine with the movies where they are. I mean, you've got Aquaman 2's in the, coming up, and Flash with Michael Keaton. I mean, it just seems like it's headed in the right direction. That's not the same direction as Marvel, because you're never going to chase that. You're never going to catch up.
Alex, your thoughts?
I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Like, ever since the 2017 Justice League came out, I feel like they've gotten a lot better in terms of the movies they put out. And there's some I don't like. Like, I'm one of the few people that hates Joker. I just really cannot stand that movie. Wonder Woman 1984 was fine. I didn't hate it as much as everyone else, but Shazam, Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, The Batman, they've all been good.
Yeah.
But there's also kind of a cluster in terms of where everything's located. Like the Batman and the Joker are standalone movies. But then you've got everything else that's within a shared universe, but it doesn't feel like they're all part of that world. Like, it's really weird watching the Suicide Squad and thinking to yourself, this coexists in the same universe as, even though he's not making any more of these movies, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I would like there to be some consistency if they want to try to continue making movies in the DCEU, which is why you need somebody like Kevin Feige. But again, hearing that they're looking for somebody to handle the business side, that's, as Jami said, that's what got them in trouble in the first place. But they do need somebody in the creative realm to kind of steer things in that particular co-series. But at the same time, they should continue to make more standalone stuff. But I kind of also wish they kind of ease off Batman, just because we've seen him done so many times before. And I'd like to see more new stuff.
Yeah. No, those are great thoughts. Mm-hmm. And I do agree with you, Alex. I'm kind of on the fence of this overhaul. I agree that I'd like to see them having someone in charge, a la a Kevin Feige. They don't necessarily need to follow the Marvel formula. Marvel is Marvel, and that's their style. And DC, so far, ever since the Zack Snyder Justice League, they've continued with, these actors specifically portraying these superheroes. And I think we as the audience have become attached to that. So like an overhaul to me, it was like, I don't want to start over and rewatch the origin of this and that and that. And if they want to do it in the ways of like, this is a multiverse, because that's been, like we all know this, and, Infinite Earth and whatnot, like that's fine. But it's kind of like, how many times do we need to watch Batman's origin, right? Like we get it. We know it. Same thing with Superman. We get it. We know it. We don't need to spend more time retelling that. We need more time telling other parts of the story. And then if you're going to assign somebody to, the Kevin, what is it called? The Kevin Feige type. I mean, make it creative and make it not business. Don't they have enough business people on that side of, the office at this point? So I'm kind of on the fence in that, but I don't really think at this point they exactly need a overhaul, whatever that may mean to them, because that's just lingo. But I think it's also new merger, new kind of shift of power, and them trying to figure out, and that's kind of where it's coming from.
Yeah, I agree with that. And can I also just add, like, Kevin Feige is like an anomaly. There is no other Kevin Feige, right? Kevin Feige is an executive filmmaker with like a resume of producing movies, who also knows this material. Jeff Johns seemed like he was going to be the guy for DC.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is the guy who created half of these storylines and characters in the comics that they're adapting now. And when they brought him on, because he had experience writing on television, on Smallville and other stuff like that, the Blade TV series, he he did Green Lantern. He did, you know what I mean? Like he was involved in all the Zack Snyder stuff. His name is on. I mean, and if you talk to Ray Fisher, he was involved in a lot of that bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're talking, you know what I mean? Like if you were going to, get a DC Kevin Feige, I can't think of someone better than Jeff Johns, and he was, I'm sorry, not good at it. So
yeah,
there is no Kevin Feige for DC. There is no,
unless they're able to get James Gunn. Maybe I think he understands comics, and I think he understands.
I mean, a lot of
Kevin Feige. I mean, we are talking business. I mean, Discovery could probably give, think of a number where Kevin might want to leave his position and take on the DC world. We don't know.
I mean, I've heard throughout the years, I've heard a lot of people say Bruce Timm, but he's more like within the animated realm.
Right.
So it'll be weird to see.
He's done that with the animated films,
animated DC is so good, guys.
Yeah, but
so he's already in his little corner there.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So I feel like at this point, if they do an overhaul, it could get messy. I think that it needs to be a well thought out versus like a reactionary decision.
Yeah. Well, and how many times are they going to overhaul it? Like,
just give us Man of Steel 2, okay?
For me, just keep making more rated R superhero comedies, because those are the stuff that I love from them. There you go.
Yeah. There you have it. So you guys, if you're watching this later on after the live stream, let us know your thoughts on the WB Discovery potential overhaul of the DC Entertainment. Let us know in the comment section as we move on to our next topic here. You guys, we got a huge, let me move on to this one instead, because we had talked about this on a previous episode. The Wonder Twins are getting a movie, which everybody kind of thought like, wait, the Wonder Twins, like the powers activate and whatever catchphrase it is what is the catchphrase?
Right. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Yes.
Of a
blank,
water,
blank,
beast,
and then
whatever.
Shape of a blank, blank.
Because it was a shape of some liquid thing.
Water, types of liquid. Sorry.
This is exactly the power you want, right?
Yeah.
Just melt.
That's a useful power. Form of an ice cube.
So now they have officially cast KJ Apa and Isabel May in the roles of the twins. What do you guys think of this casting choice? Let's go with Alex first.
I actually don't know much about these two. I know KJ Apa's on Riverdale, which I don't watch. But I mean, I'll say this: they look like they could be twins. So, from somebody who doesn't know these two actors that well, that's good right there.
Yeah, agree with that. I have for a while was a pretty loyal watcher of Riverdale. I did fall off the last, I don't even know what season that I left off. I just kind of, had things come up and couldn't watch. But I do enjoy his portrayal of Archie in Riverdale, and I am curious and excited to see what he's going to bring to the role. I don't know much of Isabel May. What about you, Jami? What do you think of the casting choice here?
Yeah, I think it's actually probably pretty good casting. I've seen a few episodes of Riverdale, and I think he's actually pretty good. So I think that it'll be interesting. She's on 1883, and I've only seen a couple of the first episodes of that. But I think they're both probably good choices for this. It's going to be interesting to see what direction they take it in. Like, I could see them doing a little bit more of a serious version. Not a serious version, but, not as sort of tongue-in-cheek as remember the characters from the cartoon. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be, a little bit more, reasonable. Even Gleek, I would imagine, will be a little bit more cinematic. Do we know?
That's right.
Is this HBO Max or is this?
I believe it is HBO Max.
So that kind of fits along with Batgirl, and I know Blue Beetle has now gone to the big screen, but it is, and it's almost sort of what we were just talking about. Like, we don't want to see Batman's story again or Superman's story again, or, we honestly, I don't, after James Wan's Aquaman, would we need to see a rebooted Aquaman with a new actor, no, of course not. Now Aqualad's a different story. That's a whole different character and a completely different story. So that's different. But I like where they're kind of going with these HBO movies. Well, and I guess Aqualad's going to be a series, but kind of have a little bit more time to explore these characters like Aqualad and Batgirl and the Wonder Twins, and maybe see what, so it's not just Batman and Superman and Aquaman and Wonder Woman. We're getting some different characters from the mythology and exploring them a little bit. So it could be something really cool. It could also be awful. I mean, the Wonder Twins were like the punchline of the jokes in the cartoon. So it could be, and there's also not a lot. They have been adapted in DC Comics, but it's not like there's, some groundbreaking graphic novel. You know what I mean? Like there's never been like a huge series from them. There's not a lot of mythology from the comics to really pull from. So you're kind of just pulling from what we know from the cartoon.
Yeah.
And then so in a way it's sort of a blank canvas where maybe they could do something really interesting with it.
Yeah. I'm curious which direction they're going to take, because they can go complete comical with it, but I would think I'd rather see it a little bit more grounded, a little bit more. So we'll see. Yeah, Alex, go ahead.
This seems like one of these things you can't really be grounded with. I mean, you've got two siblings. Because before we started, I watched a bit of this 17-minute montage. You can find it on YouTube of every Wonder Twins transformation, and just the stuff they turn into. It's like there's no way you can do a grounded version of this. Now, if you can have heart, if you make us care about these two, then you can honestly do whatever you want with it. But to try to make it serious, that would be a huge accomplishment that I don't know. I honestly think it'd be better if they went full tongue in cheek, but at least not in a way to where it's like goofy and we don't really care what's going on.
Yeah.
And so much of their interaction in the cartoons were off of the Justice League, right? Like the Justice League, the Super Friends were kind of the straight men in a sense to their comedy. So it'll be interesting to see,
Could they go the way of like Peacemaker?
Well, like I said, like what's the story? I mean, there's not, you know what I mean? Like with Batgirl, we can kind of pull Batgirl stories from the comics. We know Firefly's the villain, so we know that maybe Batgirl Year One was an inspiration. There's no comic book. There's no like one graphic novel to say, oh, the Wonder Twins, Wonderful is the graphic novel that we need to, or there's no one specific source material. It's just sort of the idea of these characters. So I think in a lot of ways they can really do whatever they want with it. Yeah,
we'll see where it goes. Casting just got confirmed, so I think they still have a bit of ways as far as production goes. So we'll keep our eyes on this new piece of news over here at Pop Council, and we will report back if there is any further updates. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to another interesting movie that's been reported. You guys, we are getting a Spirit Halloween Store movie.
What?
I couldn't wait to get you guys' thoughts on this. So in the cast, they have Christopher Lloyd and Rachel Lee Cook. And you guys know Spirit Halloween Store. Like I think everybody I don't know if it's kind of within the States we know Spirit Halloween. I don't know if it's like a thing.
I was gonna say, I don't know that that's nationwide. That's just sort of California thing, right?
Really?
I think, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's nationwide.
It might be nationwide. I'm pretty sure it's not super international because there's some countries, like for example, Taiwan doesn't exactly go full out celebrating Halloween. Right. So I don't think we'd be getting like a Spirit Halloween Store over there. But here in LA, at the very least, we do see, end of August, beginning of September, these Spirit Halloween stores walk up and, they have racks and racks of costumes. They have those lawn decorations, some pretty elaborate ones that are, motion sense, and then like the ghosts pop out at you. It's actually kind of fun to walk through one of those to get yourself in the Halloween spirit. So now we're getting a full feature-length film out of this. So the plot is very like R.L. Stine, goosebumpy to me. It's a group of middle school kids who basically think they're kind of growing out of that trick-or-treat age. So instead, they're going to go into this like abandoned strip mall where the Spirit Halloween location has opened up, which it's kind of funny because they tend to take up these empty spaces, and they pop all of a sudden a Halloween store is there. they spent the night there only to find out there's some sort of evil spirit entity that is there and possessing the animatronics in the store. And can they survive the night before one of them gets possessed? That is the plot that's being reported. What do you guys think of the plot and just overall the Halloween store movie?
I mean, it's not an original plot, but I think it could lend itself to some fun, creative ideas. I mean, it's just the thought of them doing a Spirit Halloween movie at the beginning is so bizarre. Like that's one of the weirdest things you could possibly have decided to make a movie out of. But I mean, if they embrace it, if they come up with some clever things in it, then I think it could be a lot of fun. Is this theatrical or is this?
I think it's theatrical. Let me double check, but I think it's theatrical.
Because that would make it even weirder.
Yeah, if it's theatrical, my guess is this is going direct to VOD. It's not a big studio release. I mean, I know that everything's IP now, but I still don't think Spirit Halloween has a large enough IP to compete in the marketplace.
It's not clear in the reports, but I know they have wrapped production.
Yeah.
But it's not clear. What I do think is smart of like, you know, doing this with Spirit Halloween Store. Not that Spirit Halloween Store needed more advertising because we already know what's coming for every Halloween, but it is set to be released in October. This is going to get people to even just go to Spirit Halloween Store because of the movie. It's kind of marketing itself. Yeah. It's a little meta in that way. And I think it's hilarious where they can literally have a section in their own store with their own brand of like, cosplay and dress up as one of the characters from our movies. Oh, you saw this in the movie? You can have this as a lawn decoration for Halloween. Like, I think that is it's going to be good fun. But like you said, I am not sure if it's like a theatrical release, how many people are going to be like, oh, I can't wait to see that Halloween Spirit Halloween Store movie. But it's VOD. Yeah, I certainly would sit down and give it a watch with a giant bucket of Halloween candy.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I just had to bring it on the show because it was such a bizarre piece of news. I'm like, because, we're getting movies. Like there's the Play-Doh movie, there's the Barbie movie, there's a Tetris movie, Rubik's Cube movie. What's next?
There's just some things that are so bizarre you can't not talk about them.
Exactly. And it's funny that we're getting this, and I don't even think we've gotten like a Five Nights at Freddy feature film yet.
Right? I feel like that ship has sailed. Like when they made Slender Man, like 6 years after the game became a big phenomenon, they missed their opportunity. So I think Five Nights at Freddy's, if they do make one, it's going to be out of pure desperation.
But the game is popular, is it not?
It is, but still maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just basing my thoughts based on how the Slender Man movie just kind of came and went.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. So, well, we'll get to see what this movie is all about when it comes this Halloween season, possibly to a theater near you. And with that, we're going to stay in the spooky realm and we're going to go ahead and move into our next topic. And that is Stranger Things 4. The official trailer has dropped where we're going to get to revisit everybody that we've been watching these kid actors grow. They're so grown now. And I love their journey throughout the seasons of Stranger Things. And this time we're getting a whole new big bad. And the Duffer brothers have confirmed that this is in fact Vecna, which totally ties into the theme from the very beginning. First episode, we see the kids play D&D. So for anybody who doesn't know, Vecna is from the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. He is, I think, a former sorcerer, but he is known as like a leech, king type of villain in that realm. So it's interesting that they're bringing it all kind of full circle. I don't know. Is this the last season of Stranger Things? I think it is.
5 is. 5 is the last season.
Okay.
Is it now? It's my understanding that this season is divided into 2 volumes.
You're correct.
So is it just like season 1 part 1? Is it season 4 part 1 and 2, or is there going to be an individual? Okay.
I think so.
Because they said in the press release 5 is the final season. So if they split 4 in half, I don't think they're counting half as 5.
Okay.
That's interesting because I don't think any previous seasons of Stranger Things they've done a split of a season. But this is also an interesting one where the kids are growing up, they've gone through a lot, but these characters have split. Normally, I think it's easy to keep the whole group together because they're in the same town exploring, whether it's the town or the Upside Down. But now, we have Hopper over in Russia. We've got I think Mikey's over in California and Eleven's in school. So it's going to be interesting to see where the story goes. And I think that's why they split into the two to kind of say, okay, these first half, the volume 1, we will kind of flesh out, give you guys why these characters have landed where they are or why they've stayed in town where they are now, establish that. And then the second part of it is potentially them reuniting or maybe partial of the group reuniting to fight the big bad, because we do get to see, episode 2 is titled Vecna's Curse. So it's like, are we getting to meet the big bad already that quickly by episode 2? I'm very curious to see how they're going to portray that, but I'm very excited. I think I've been just really enjoying the seasons of Stranger Things. I like the retro vibe of it, and the fact that they're tying D&D into this just makes my heart really happy.
It's been a long 3 years since the last one.
Yeah, they spent a long time.
Yeah, I just hope it's not. This isn't the final season, but I just hope the time was well worth it to making this the best that it can be, because we all remember what happened with another phenomenon of the show, Game of Thrones.
I feel like I erased that from my memory.
No, it's like you guys spent 2 years on this final season, and this is all we got.
This is what we got. Yeah. Right. Gosh, I hope not. Oh my gosh, knock on wood. Yeah.
Do you think that they went this season with the characters being so spread out because of availability from actors? Because if you remember in season 4 of Arrested Development, that's why all the characters are separate for half the season, because of the actors' schedules, and they weren't able to put them all together till the second part of the season. Do you think it's something like that?
That's a really good point, and I think it's very possible, for television to do this and just to better fit their schedule. And maybe it just so happened to work out for the story as well, because these kids, they have to grow, and like eventually you got to say, like, I think I'm kind of done with Hawkins. Like we gotta relocate.
Yeah.
And see if it's us or the location. Time to reassess. So we're super excited for season 4, which comes out at the end of May, I think.
Yeah,
May 25th.
27th is the
27th
first episode of, well, that's volume 1.
Yes. And Netflix typically drops all the episodes at once. They don't do like a weekly release for things like Stranger Things. So I think we'll get all 4 episodes within the first weekend, but I could be wrong. Maybe they want to do a cliffhanger every week to week release. But that week we're getting so many new shows. We're getting Obi-Wan. We have Miss Marvel coming out that week as well, plus Stranger Things. So our eyeballs are going to be very, very tired.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of nerd stuff to consume.
A lot of content, and I think we're all going to be. That's a week where I need the coffee and need the jitters. Give me the anxiety. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic here, and that is, let me go ahead and see if I can find. Here we go. The awesome 3 original, our legends from Jurassic Park is coming back for Jurassic World Dominion. And so there was a featurette released sort of talking about having these actors back and what the actors in Jurassic World Dominion feel about kind of, it's also full circle in itself. What did you guys think of the featurette, and are you more excited for Jurassic World Dominion because of these 3 actors coming back into the film? Jami?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been like a huge Jurassic Park fan. I really, obviously I saw the originals like everyone else, and I've seen all the movies, and I'm into all of it. But yeah, not like a super huge fan of Jurassic Park. But then seeing this featurette, like, it's really cool seeing the 3 original actors with Chris Pratt and with Bryce Dallas Howard. And yeah, I did get a little bit at the end when Jeff Goldblum is with Chris Pratt. There's a little bit of like, oh wow, yeah, this is all of them together. So yeah, for me it was awesome. And I, the last movie got a little, if you haven't seen it yet, clones and human clones and again, dear God, I hope Jeff Goldblum is playing a clone of Ian Malcolm and not the actual Ian Malcolm, because that would be awesome. Or is he playing two Jeff Goldblums in the same movie? Like, please.
The evil clone.
Please give us. Oh, Wendy. The bad guy is an evil, just the Jeff Goldblum.
You cut
clone.
into like close up to his eyeball and it's the dinosaur eye.
That would be amazing. So I don't think any of that's happening. But so they did lose me a little bit with the last one, but I do like how they brought back BD Wong and they brought back a lot of actors. We know that the character that I always forget the actor's name, but Newman from Seinfeld was selling the
Wayne Knight.
Yeah, the Wayne Knight character was selling the vials to. They couldn't bring that actor back because he's in prison in real life and they can't use him.
Yeah,
but they got Campbell Scott. Campbell Scott is playing that character. So they're bringing back all of these sort of classic characters and bring it all together. So I'm more excited for it than I've been for other Jurassic Parks. I hope it's not somewhat disappointing like the last one, but if they capture a little bit of what they did with the first Jurassic World, with like what they captured with the first two Jurassic Parks, and can we get Julianne Moore back? Like, I know that it's a big deal to get these three back, but Julianne Moore was important to the mythology of this series as well. So, and Vince Vaughn. So.
She was. I mean, Julianne Moore's character was the daughter of one of the veterinarians from Jurassic Park. So all the more.
Well, and the kids. I mean, I got to imagine the kids are going to show up because one of them is in Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, he's become a big actor in his own.
The boy, younger.
The boy from the first Jurassic Park. Tim. Yes, the actor who played Tim is one of the actors in Queen in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
what?
Yes, he's become Joe Mazzarosa.
Yes,
he's become a big. So I got to imagine, and the girl who played, was it Ellie? Was that the girl's name?
Lex.
Oh, Lex. I don't know why I saw Ellie too.
But I've seen her pop up. She'll show up at the Jurassic Park reunion and things like that. And it's like, I got to imagine they're going to bring the two kids back.
I'd like to see that. I mean, if they're going to go full circle, then you talk about legacy, and what you said about Julianne Moore. I think that's absolutely correct. To have.
I guess their grandfather's gone because Attenborough's dead, but it would make sense to bring them back as like his grandkid. It would. I can see that happening. It would make a lot of sense for this movie in particular to do that full circle and bring the adult kids back as a cameo at the end.
Imagine them coming back at the end of the movie after all the mayhem, after all the weird cloning and whatever weird things that's happened, and be like, we're coming back, and like exercise their rights as the grandkids, like, we're taking back the park.
Possible.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Just like the heirs of Disney.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just voicing their dislike for what's become.
And I do agree with you guys. Like, I didn't absolutely love the second movie. I think especially the end there with the reveal. And I'm like, I don't really feel like we needed to go there. It just felt so, as if Jurassic Park wasn't like out there enough already, because like genetically, like the dinosaurs, but which, I mean, would I go visit a Jurassic Park? Yes. Could it be dangerous? Absolutely. These are dinosaurs we're talking about, but the concept of the movie, and that's what I like about the magic of the first one, is like, that's really, really cool. But then this got kind of, in the second film, especially, is so far away from what I thought. And it's just, I'm hoping that they're able to kind of bring it back a little bit closer to what we had in the original, and hopefully with these three actors, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, hopefully it can rekindle that. And it seemed like the Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt are thrilled to have these three on set, talking about their experience working in their own world of like the Jurassic Park franchise. I love seeing that, and I just don't want to be disappointed because I really love the original. Like that is a near perfect movie. I really did love it.
I'd say is well, I mean, outside of a few like continuity mistakes, I'd say Jurassic Park is perfect.
Yeah.
I actually the return of the new cast, the old cast, I mean, is a nice bonus for me, but I was actually more excited for this movie based on its premise alone, just dinosaurs out in the mainland.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that the trailers that we've gotten have not really been spoiling everything like the trailers for Fallen Kingdom. I guess they got a new marketing team to cut these trailers now.
Yeah, to keep the audience surprised.
Yeah, so having Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum back is a really great bonus. But I feel like there's a lot more that's gotten me interested in terms of this new movie. I'm kind of expecting it to be disappointing, but weirdly enough, because this is actually my most anticipated movie of the year.
Oh wow!
Because I didn't like Fallen Kingdom, but the best part about the ending was that it could lead into a radically different movie. So we're not just repeating Jurassic Park 3, even though they've got the T-Rex fighting another giant dinosaur.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it could be fun. I mean, they've shown that, yeah, the new cast really is ecstatic about. Did I use that word right?
Ecstatic?
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that working with the old cast is exciting. I like how this movie is using a lot more animatronics.
Yes.
Which is something that
practical effects.
Yeah, because it seems like this trilogy has been slowly like escalating the number of animatronics they've used, because now they've got a full-blown full-size animatronic Giganotosaurus. Like in which was literally the last shot of that reel.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
I think it's going to be. I think it has the potential to be the best since Jurassic Park. I mean, not as in like I'm not saying that it's going to be as good as it, because as much as I like The Lost World and Jurassic World, they don't even come close. So it could have the potential to be better than those two, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited. And having the old cast come back is definitely gonna amp up the movie for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where my excitement lies as well, because we love these three characters so much, or great actors. So I think it's exciting to see the new cast and the old cast blending in together. You have Sam Neill at the end of that trailer, and Chris Pratt saying the same thing, "Don't move." So I imagine these kind of butt heads a little bit in the beginning. It's like, you have dinosaur knowledge, I have dinosaur knowledge, and I was here before you, so I like to see a little bit of that fun back and forth a little bit before. Obviously, they're all going to work together.
Yeah.
To see how they can fix the problem. How do you? It's like, hello, we have a dinosaur problem. We're living with them now in the real world.
Well, you said the two groups of cast members butting heads with each other. There was a TV spot that came out, I think, just yesterday. Like literally, there's a line at the end where Jeff Goldblum says to Chris Pratt, "Is that a dinosaur on your shoulder?" And it's Blue's child asleep. And Chris Pratt's going, "Yeah, why?" So, so it'll be an interesting dynamic to see the original cast, who have been like very against the idea of a dinosaur theme park and have said like this is not a good idea, versus the newer generation that has fully embraced working and living with dinosaurs. So at least we'll get that dynamic.
Yeah, that's interesting. Is this the second movie we're getting this summer? Well, it'll come out first, but do we have two Chris Pratt, Jeff Goldblum films coming out this summer?
Oh, because of Guardians?
Thor.
Thor.
Is Jeff Goldblum in Thor?
I feel like that's been hinted at but hidden. I don't think it's been like officially announced, but I feel like I've heard those rumors.
You know, it's not. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We could have two Chris Pratt, Jeff Goldblum movies this summer.
That's so fun in completely different type of characters.
Right.
That's very interesting. I mean, look, I'm never gonna fight anybody on like, oh, do you want more Jeff Goldblum? It's absolutely yes.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, more Jeff Goldblum is always good. I can't wait to see they should make a Jeff Goldblum movie in the vein of Massive Talent. Because I feel like just like with Nicolas Cage, Jeff Goldblum is the actor to make a movie about.
You know what, Alex? I like that idea so much. I would 100% watch that.
I think that's his actual life, though. Like, I think that, like, do you know what I mean? Well, I mean, yeah, you know, he has a show on Disney Plus. Like,
yes,
yeah, The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Fun.
So it'd be kind of like that.
Yeah, I love that. I would love that. More Jeff Goldblum is the way to go. Well, you guys, that is all the time we have on today's topic. I want to thank Jami and Alexander so much for joining us on Pop Council. Alex, where can everybody find you and your work?
You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/The Real Mr. Robinson. I'm also on Twitter at Real Mr_Robinson, although I will be taking the summer off Twitter starting May 1st. So start following me when you can. And Instagram, The Real Mr. Robinson.
And what about you, Jami?
Oh, you can follow me Twitter and Instagram at Philbrick, Facebook at my name, and check out Movie Phone for showtimes, news, interviews, and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you. And you guys, you can find me on across all socials at Wendy Lee Zaney. On YouTube, it's under the Movie Couple channel. And with that, that is our show for today. Thank you guys all for joining us. If you enjoy our discussion, if you enjoy these topics, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel because Pop Council is not the only show on the HCA network. We have a ton of after shows, great discussions, great panelists. So if you're in for a good conversation about one of your favorite shows, subscribe to our channel. And with that, we will see you guys next week right here on Pop Council. Bye, everyone.
Bye.